Greetings. Welcome to the Captive Desk. In this video, we have Don from ICR that has a PhD in biology that says there are 3 things that prove dinosaurs were not deceased and gone extinct 66 million years ago, and man and dinosaurs lived together. Let's see what Don has to say.
First of all, there's scientific evidence, which is the soft tissues and proteins that are found in dinosaur remains, and that indicates that those dinosaur fossils are not millions of years old. That's number one.
Soft tissue, okay.
Soft tissue. The second is the historical evidence that people have seen these creatures in the last 500 years, 1,000 years, 2,000 years, and that's in the form of art that's actually found all around the world. And the third line of evidence is the historical evidence from the Bible, which indicates that dinosaurs were not created a long time before mankind, but in fact on the same day of creation week.
Don's 3 lines of evidence are soft tissue in dinosaur fossils, art, and the Bible. Okay, Don, please explain these 3 proofs you have for us.
So, Don, if we look at those 3 evidences in a little bit more detail, the first one being this idea of soft tissue that we're finding in dinosaur fossils. How can that be the case if they're supposed to be 66 million years old?
That's a fundamental problem for the millions of years story, because blood vessels that were found...
Okay, so look like blood vessels, but wasn't actually...
That was the claim. That was because they recognised that this is a huge problem for their millions of years story, was that these blood vessels would not last soft and stretchy for over 68 million years sort of thing.
And these discoveries, they keep being made, don't they? We keep digging up bones, we keep finding more and more of these soft tissues in all sorts of fossils.
Yeah, one of the things that Dr. Mary Schweitzer's work...
Mary Schweitzer actually did that.
...has done is just opened the whole door to the possibility that all sorts of fossils could have proteins and things in them, and even DNA. Even DNA has been found, fragments of DNA have been found in dinosaur bones. So there's a fundamental problem with their whole millions of years deep time story, but they have to hang on to it because, well, time is a magic pudding that, creates everything, isn't it?
Creationists cite Mary Schweitzer often, who made the discovery of soft tissue in a dinosaur fossil. Let's see what Mary Schweitzer says about what she found.
So I was recently in a Young Earth seminar where your research was used to support claims that working blood vessels, fresh blood cells, and intact DNA had been found in dinosaur cells or dinosaur fossils. Is that a fair characterization of your research?
It's wrong on all counts. Do we have blood cells? No, we do not have blood cells. I don't have the data to support that. Can I say it's dinosaur DNA? No.
Well, because even if they were really intact, we had blood cells and we had blood vessels, that doesn't change anything, correct? I mean, that doesn't change our understanding of the age of the Earth. It only changes our understanding of how things are fossilized, correct?
Yes, exactly. And the cool thing of it is, if we quit wasting time on how old these things are and start getting at why are they there, it has huge implications that go far beyond dinosaurs.
Don, you're an idiot, or you are being dishonest intentionally, as what you say and other creationists say Mary Schweitzer said and what she actually says differ. She has not said what you and other creationists say she said. And nothing in Mary Schweitzer's discoveries changes the age of the fossil nor the ages of all fossils. Fossils are dated by the layers they are found in. What is inside the fossil or not, as you fibbed a lot about what was found, does not change the age of the fossils. Your first proof, soft tissue, just went poof, Don.
That's the first part. And then you said if we had a look at dinosaurs actually, if they're not that old, then they've lived alongside human beings at some point.
Well, that's certainly indicated by art that you find all around the world.
Tell us about that.
Well, just a couple of examples. In Ta Prohm Temple in Cambodia, and I've actually visited this
Oh, wow.
and seen it for myself, but there's a carving on the wall of this temple which is hundreds of years old, predating any modern paleontology studies that could have inspired it, of a creature which has features which are reminiscent of the Stegosaurus, with the plates along the back and so on.
Yep.
And it's hard to see how it's not some sort of dinosaur-like creature.
That carving is pareidolia. The plates are not attached and are probably depicting leaves or petals, as they are depicted in other carvings at the temple of a bird and a buffalo that do not have plates on their backs. If this is a real animal, as mythological ones are depicted in carvings there too, it resembles a Sumatran rhino, not a dinosaur.
Other ones, like Bishop Bell was buried in 1496 in Carlisle Cathedral in the United Kingdom, up in the northeast of England. And Dr. Mark Harwood, one of my colleagues, actually seen this himself as well. And a brass relief around the tomb in the floor of the cathedral, all sorts of animals are etched into the brass. Things like pigs and dogs and fish and things.
Okay, animals that are alive today.
Animals which we recognise as real animals today, but also there are two animals necking with long necks and long tails and four reasonably equally sized legs. Another one is in Mesopotamia, before Christ, there was a cylinder seal. And this seal, when you roll it into the wax, produces an image of a creature which we know today from fossil studies as Tanystropheus. Now, there's a book by the name of Dire Dragons by a Canadian guy by the name of Vance Nelson. And Vance has travelled the world collecting art that shows that dinosaurs and people live together. So Fred Flintstone cartoons are not far off the mark.
Hold it!
Opinions on what is depicted in brass around that bishop's tomb vary. There's a possibility he was an amateur paleontologist of the day that may have found some dinosaur bones or knew of a find. Or it's a mythological depiction of something like a serpopard, as your last example is clearly a serpopard. That silver seal depicts a serpopard, a mythical animal known from ancient Egyptian and Mesopotamian art. The word serpopard is a modern coinage. It is a portmanteau, a combination of serpent and leopard, derived from the interpretation that the creature represents an animal with the body of a leopard and the long neck and head of a serpent. However, they have also been interpreted as serpent-necked lions. These types of images were featured specifically on decorated cosmetic palettes from the pre-dynastic period of Egypt, and more extensively as design motifs on cylinder seals, like the cylinder seal of Uruk that displays the motif very clearly. Typically, two creatures are depicted with their necks intertwined. Mesopotamian use of these serpent-necked lions and other animals and animal hybrids is seen by some scholars as manifestations of the Thunik, aspect of the god of natural vitality who is manifest in all life breaking forth from the earth. What you have in these depictions, Don, are mythological creatures. They are chimeras, different animals pieced together with some meanings attached to the representations. Art as evidence that dinosaurs lived with man, and so dinosaurs are not many millions of years ago. You are lacking on that proof, Don. What you have presented is proof of pareidolia and chimeras, not dinosaurs living with humans. Turns out the Flintstones is a cartoon, Don, based on fiction, and you need to stop watching it as a documentary.
And so then you also said, thirdly, that we have evidence in the biblical record of dinosaurs. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so when we read about the creation in the creation week, the first week of Genesis, the first chapter of Genesis, we see there that on the sixth day of creation week, God created the land animals, which would include dinosaurs.
I heard someone say to me the other day, why didn't God say, when he said on day 6 what he made, why didn't he say? He didn't say that dinosaurs were in there. What would you say to that?
He said land creatures. So behemoth in Job, behemoth in Genesis chapter 1 is actually a more general term of often translated as cattle, but it's not really cattle, it's land beasts, if you like.
And what's the biblical description of behemoth?
Well, Job chapter 40 has a very interesting description there. It says, look at this creature I made along with you, which feeds on grass like an ox. And it talks about he has a tail like a cedar tree. So when the Bible says an animal has a tail like a cedar tree, it's talking about a big tail.
The Bible, the source of all scientific knowledge. Yeah, no. Behemoth is often cited by creationists as a sauropod dinosaur, as they claim the Bible says it has a tail the size of a cedar tree. Let's see what the Bible says, and across different versions. The Orthodox Jewish Bible, it says, he moveth his tail like a cedar branch. In the New International Version, it says its tail sways like a cedar. In the Revised Standard Version Catholic Edition, he makes his tail stiff like a cedar. In the English Standard Version, it says he makes his tail stiff like a cedar. In the New King James Version, he moves his tail like a cedar. In the New American Standard Bible, 1995, he bends his tail like a cedar. In the Lexham English Bible, it says, it keeps its tail straight like a cedar. International Standard Version, it says, his tail protrudes stiffly like cedar. And in the 1599 Geneva Bible, it says, when he taketh pleasure, his tail is like a cedar. Yes, they are talking about a big tail, all right. A big old hippo member. Hippos have a rather unusual, pendulous, retractable, straight member that faces backwards. And to quote the 1599 Geneva Bible again, it says, when he taketh pleasure, his tail is like a cedar. Behemoth also has a large mouth. Behold, he drinketh up a river, and hasteth not. He trusteth that he can draw up Jordan into his mouth. That's a hippo. Under the lotus plants he lies, in the covert of the reeds and in the marsh. That's a hippo. No sauropod ever did anything covertly or lied under the lotus. It has never been tamed by man. Can anyone capture it by the eye, or trap it and pierce its nose? Hippos are very territorial. They will attack boats, and if they don't kill you with their tusks, the crocs are waiting once you are in the water. There is good reason to be warned about the hippo in the Bible. And In the Orthodox Jewish Bible, it says hippo. And in many other versions of the Bible, the notes say behemoth was a hippo. From the Orthodox Jewish Bible, verse 15. Hanea, now behemoth, in brackets, hippopotamus, which I made along with thee. He eateth grass like an ox.
Are there any other references in the Bible to dinosaurs?
There's another creature called Leviathan, which follows on from the description of behemoth, and that sounds like a massive sea creature, a sea monster, if you like. And the description there sounds like something like Sarcosuchus. Sarcosuchus imperator is actually a massive crocodile-like creature that we know from the fossil record. So it could be something like that. But
Leviathan is a sea serpent. The Bible says, his snorting flashes with light, and his eyes are like the rays of dawn. Firebrands stream from his mouth. Fiery sparks shoot forth. Smoke billows from his nostrils, as from a boiling pot over burning reeds. His breath sets coals ablaze, and flames pour from his mouth. In the Old Testament, Leviathan appears in Psalms 74:14 as a multi-headed sea serpent that is killed by God and given as food to the Hebrews in the wilderness. In Isaiah 27:1, Leviathan is a serpent and a symbol of Israel's enemies who will be slain by God. In this instance, God is described as having defeated the Leviathan in a triumph of good over evil. The Leviathan becomes food for the people inhabiting the wilderness. Leviathan is a mythical sea serpent with multiple heads that breathes fire. A single one that God killed and only God could kill in a mythical story about a mythical beast that represents Israel's enemies. It's not a dinosaur, nor marine reptile, nor was it Sarcosuchus that went extinct over 100 million years ago. Come on, Don. Why do I have to read the Bible for you? The Bible does not describe dinosaurs, Don. Your proofs have all poofed. You have no proof of man living with dinosaurs, nor that non-avian dinosaurs did not go extinct 66 million years ago, long before humans ever walked the earth. To review, you said 3 proofs. Soft tissue, that you have all wrong according to Mary Schweitzer. Art, that is not depictions of dinosaurs nor dinosaurs living with man. The Flintstones is a cartoon and not evidence, Don. The Bible is not describing dinosaurs, and the age of the dinosaur fossils stands at tens and hundreds of millions of years ago, per the dating done to the layers they are found in or in between. Dinosaurs did not live with man, and dinosaur fossils are indeed millions of years old and went extinct 66 million years ago, long before humans ever walked the earth. Don is going to try again in some bonus questions. All right, we will give it a shot. Let's check the bonus answers from Don, the biologist.
So why did the dinosaurs go extinct then?
Well, we weren't there to see what happened, so nobody really knows, and everybody has to speculate. So they're not around today, but why did they become extinct? We don't know. So the asteroid impact idea, which is the one that the go-to for most people,
Right.
it doesn't work because Komodo dragons are supposed to have been here all along with the dinosaurs, and they weren't extincted.
The asteroid impact caused a mass extinction event, including the non-avian dinosaurs, as no non-avian dinosaur fossils are found above the KT boundary layer from the asteroid impact, Don the biologist. The Komodo dragons date back between 1 to 4 million years. They do not live alongside the dinosaurs, Don, and so they were not extincted with the other dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Extincted is so funny. And from a biologist, yeah, no. What's funny is your horrible math and reading skills.
So another question that I get a lot from students as well, and even adults, is how did all the dinosaurs fit on the ark then?
The teacher who has students wants to know how did the dinosaurs fit on the ark? May Bigfoot help us all. Why is this person allowed to teach? I hope it's gym class. Non-avian dinosaurs went extinct 66 million years ago, and there was no magic zoo boat nor global flood. Please stop teaching if it's not gym class. The thought of you teaching children science or history makes my brain sad. And Don, well, Don, the bonus questions failed you miserably too. You and this teacher are incredibly ignorant and or peddlers of disinformation on the ICR payroll to do so, working for a dishonest organization. You have no proof of man living with dinosaurs. You have no proof that non-avian dinosaurs did not go extinct 66 million years ago. You did not even mention the dating methods that date the fossils. Soft tissue or any other discoveries found in fossils doesn't change their age. There are no dinosaurs in any artworks from long, long ago, nor are there dinosaurs mentioned in the Bible. You need to look up what Mary Schweitzer found and what she says about you fibbing about what she found. You need to look up how old Komodo dragons are. You need to actually read what the Bible says if you are going to cite it as proof it mentions dinosaurs. You need to look up how rock layers are dated. What you were doing when you supposedly were learning biology to get a degree in it, I have no idea. Nor do I think you have read the Bible or much of anything else. And when we say to you, the Flintstones is not a documentary, it is to mock you as a grown adult and a biologist that thinks it is. Once again, creationists like Don demonstrate why all of academia dismisses their claims as nonsense.
What else have I been told? What else have I believed that's not correct with what the Bible says?
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy videos like these, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe with a bell to get notifications of future videos. And I'll see you then.